Fear of rejection is a feeling that often holds people back from moving forward. We stop ourselves because we worry about what will happen if others do not accept us. This fear keeps us from pursuing our dreams. But what if I told you that rejection is not your enemy? What if rejection is actually the door to your growth? Let me share with you a story that will change how you see rejection forever. Once upon a time, in a quiet university town, there lived a 23-year-old young man named Samir. Samir was a kind and talented person. He was good at his studies, he had creative ideas, and he was caring toward others. But there was one big problem that stopped him from living fully. Samir had a deep fear of rejection. Whenever he wanted to express his feelings, share his opinions, or ask for something he needed, fear would freeze him. He would think, what if they say no? What if they don't like me? What if they laugh at me? What if I am not good enough? Because of this fear, Samir never told the girl he liked how he felt. He never raised his hand in class, even when he knew the answer. He never applied for opportunities he wanted because he was afraid of being rejected. Day by day, he felt like he was living half a life. His true self stayed hidden behind walls of fear. One day, Samir's professor noticed that he was always quiet in class. After the lecture, the professor called him aside and said, "Samir, I see potential in you, but you never speak up. Why?" Samir looked down and said softly, "Sir, I am afraid. I am afraid people will reject my ideas. I am afraid of being told no." The professor thought for a moment and then said, "I know someone who can help you. There is a life coach who lives near the river. He specializes in helping people overcome their fears. His name is Mr. Kapoor. He was once like you, paralyzed by the fear of rejection. But he learned something that changed his life completely. You should go meet him." Samir became curious and hopeful. He decided that he must go and meet Mr. Kapoor. He thought, maybe this man can help me overcome my fear. The next day, Samir went to the address his professor had given him. He found a small cottage by the river. Mr. Kapoor was sitting on the porch, reading a book. He was a man in his 50s with warm eyes and a calm presence. Samir walked up to him nervously and said, "Sir, my professor sent me to you. I have a problem. I am afraid of rejection. This fear stops me from doing so many things in life. I want to be free from this fear. Can you help me?" Mr. Kapoor looked at him with understanding and smiled gently. He said, "So, you are afraid of rejection? Then come with me. I will give you a challenge that will change everything." He stood up and took Samir to the town square. It was a busy afternoon. People were shopping, talking, walking everywhere. Mr. Kapoor turned to Samir and said, "I want you to do something very simple, but very difficult. I want you to go and ask 10 different strangers for something small. Ask them for the time, ask them for directions, ask them if you can sit next to them on a bench, ask them for a small favor. But here is the important part. Your goal is not to get a yes. Your goal is to get rejected. You must try to get at least 5 people to say no to you." Samir's eyes went wide with shock. He said, "What? You want me to try to get rejected? But that's what I'm afraid of." Mr. Kapoor smiled and said, "Exactly. That is why you must do it. Go now. I will wait here. Come back when you have been rejected at least 5 times." Samir felt his heart pounding. Every part of him wanted to run away. But something in Mr. Kapoor's calm eyes made him trust the process. He took a deep breath and walked into the crowd. He saw a woman sitting on a bench. He walked up to her slowly, his hands trembling. He said in a shaky voice, "Excuse me, ma'am. Can I sit here next to you?" The woman looked up and smiled warmly. She said, "Of course, please sit down." Samir sat for a moment, then realized this was not a rejection. He needed rejection. He stood up and walked away, feeling confused. He saw a man walking with shopping bags. Samir approached him and said, "Sir, excuse me, could you tell me what time it is?" The man stopped and checked his watch. "It's 9:30, he said politely. Again, not a rejection. Samir felt frustrated. Why was everyone being so nice? He needed to be rejected to complete the task. He tried again and again. He asked a shopkeeper if he could use the bathroom. The shopkeeper said yes. He asked a student if he could borrow a pen for a moment. The student said yes. People kept saying yes. Finally, Samir approached a street vendor and asked, "Can you give me one samosa for free?" The vendor laughed and said, "No, beta. I have to feed my family, but it's only 10 rupees if you want to buy." Finally, a rejection. Samir felt something strange. Instead of feeling hurt, he felt relieved. Nothing bad happened. The vendor was not angry. He was kind. The world did not end. Samir continued his challenge. He asked a couple if he could take their picture. They said no, they were in a hurry. Another rejection. He asked a woman in a bookstore if he could read a book without buying it. She said no, this is not a library. Another rejection. With each rejection, something inside Samir started to shift. He noticed that rejection was not personal. People were not rejecting him as a person. They were just saying no to a request. Some were polite about it. Some were direct, but none of them hated him. None of them thought he was worthless. After an hour, Samir had been rejected 7 times and accepted many more times. He walked back to Mr. Kapoor, feeling different. Something had changed. Mr. Kapoor looked at him and asked, "So, how do you feel?" Samir thought for a moment and said, "I feel lighter. I feel strange. I was so afraid of rejection, but when it actually happened, it was not that terrible. Nobody was cruel to me. Nobody thought I was stupid. They just said no. And I survived." Mr. Kapoor smiled warmly and said, "Now you are beginning to understand the truth. Let me tell you something important. The fear of rejection is always worse than rejection itself. In your mind, you built rejection into a monster. You imagined terrible things. You thought rejection meant you were not good enough, that people would hate you, that it would destroy you. But today you learn the truth. Rejection is just a word. It is just someone saying no. It is not a judgment of your worth as a human being." Samir listened carefully as Mr. Kapoor continued. Most people never learn this lesson. They spend their whole lives avoiding rejection. They never ask for what they want. They never take risks. They never express their true feelings. And because of this, they never truly live. But you, today you faced your fear. You asked for rejection and you survived. Now you know that rejection cannot destroy you. Slowly, Samir felt something powerful growing inside him. This was the freedom he was searching for. Freedom from the fear of rejection is not about never being rejected. It is about knowing that rejection is okay, that it is a normal part of life, and that it does not define who you are. Samir looked at Mr. Kapoor with gratitude and said, "Sir, I understand now. Rejection is not something to fear. It is just feedback. It is just part of life. If I want to live fully, I must be willing to hear no sometimes." Mr. Kapoor nodded with pride. He said, "Remember this. Every successful person you admire has been rejected many times. Every person in a happy relationship has been rejected before. Every person with a good job has been rejected from other jobs. Rejection is not failure. Rejection is proof that you are trying. Rejection is proof that you are brave enough to ask. The only way to never be rejected is to never try, and that is the saddest life of all. The sun was setting over the river. Birds were returning to their nests. Samir started walking back home, but now he was not the same fearful young man. He had changed. He felt powerful inside because now he knew that rejection could not hurt him. The next week, Samir raised his hand in class and shared his opinion. Some students agreed, some didn't. It was okay. He applied for an internship he really wanted. He got rejected. But he didn't stop. He applied to 3 more companies. One said yes. He gathered courage and talked to the girl he liked. She was kind but said she only saw him as a friend. It hurt a little, but Samir survived. He was proud of himself for being brave enough to try. Month by month, Samir's life transformed. He was no longer controlled by fear. He asked for opportunities. He expressed his thoughts. He took risks. Sometimes he got yes. Sometimes he got no. But he was free. He was truly living. And that freedom was worth more than anything. The truth is, rejection is not failure. It is part of learning and growth. Every successful person has faced rejection many times in life. The difference is that some people stop, while others use rejection as a source of strength and keep going. When we fear rejection, we deny ourselves the chance to try. We bury our potential before giving it an opportunity to be seen. But when we act despite this fear, we realize that rejection is not as painful or frightening as we imagined. Fear of rejection decreases when we stop tying our self-worth to other people's opinions. Your value is not reduced by a single judgment or refusal. What truly matters is how many times you can rise after falling. Remember, every no brings you closer to a yes. So don't let fear become a wall in your path. Try, learn, and believe in yourself. Because those who overcome the fear of rejection are the ones who truly move towards success. Just like Samir, you too can break free from this fear. The first step is to face it. Take one small action today that scares you. Ask for something. Share your idea. Express your feeling. And when rejection comes, smile and say, "Thank you for making me stronger." If you like the story, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories like this one. Thank you for staying with us. See you in the next story with new thoughts and new lessons. Until then, stay well and stay brave.